The movie opens up with a beautiful blonde teenage girl named Jessie sprawled across a love seat. Blood trickles down her body onto the love seat and the floor beneath her. She is being photographed by Dean, a young amateur photographer she met on the internet. After the shoot, she struggles to get the fake blood makeup off her body, when makeup artist Ruby offers to help her. Ruby learns Jessie just moved into town and that this is her first photo shoot. Jessie also says she is staying at a junkie flea bag motel in Pasadena. She offers for her to join her for a party later that night. At the party, Jessie meets two Australian accented models, Sarah and Gigi. She enjoys herself at the party by watching a naked model seemingly fly over a stage and hover under a mysterious blue upside-down triangle, all to the pulse of flashing strobe lights. The following morning, Jessie interviews at a prestigious modeling agency. Her interviewer, Roberta Hoffman, compliments her beauty. Jessie informs Roberta she's only 16. Roberta fixes this with a parental consent form and gets Jessie to start telling people she's 19. Jessie celebrates her signing that night with Dean. They celebrate by driving to the Hollywood Hills and looking down at the city below. Jessie talks about how she's always felt talentless but is confident she can make money with her looks. Dean clearly has a crush on her but is cautious due to her young age. She looks to him for moral support, asking if she should lie about her age, and Dean encourages her to do what she thinks is right. Jessie's next step is a photo shoot with a prestigious photographer named Jack. After Ruby does her makeup, Jack gets one good look at her and announces this photo shoot will be a closed set, leaving him entirely alone with Jessie. He tells her to take off her clothes and turn around. He proceeds to erotically rub her body with gold paint and shoots an amazing photo session. When she finishes, she meets Ruby outside, who tells her to be careful around guys like Jack. Jessie appreciates Ruby's friendship and the offer to call her if she needs anything. Ruby meets up with Gigi and Sarah at a diner later. They all notice how quickly Jessie is rising in the model circuit. Ruby admits that there is something rather unique with Jessie, which annoys Gigi and Sarah. Jessie finds herself at a casting call the next day. Sarah is also here and doesn't take kindly to Jessie's presence. The unnamed fashion designer is unimpressed by most of the models, but takes on an immediate infatuation with Jessie as she auditions. She's immediately hired, which crushes Sarah, who breaks down in a bathroom and throws a trash can at the mirror. Jessie compliments Sarah, but she asks what it feels like to walk into a room and be loved by everyone. Jessie says it's everything. When Jessie cuts her hand on a broken mirror shard, Sarah tries to drink her blood by licking her hand. Jessie panics and runs to her motel, and Dean finds her some time later bloody and unconscious. He looks after her by getting the shard out of her hand. A fashion show run by the unnamed designer is held. Jessie and Gigi both take part in it. Still, the designer wants to use Jessie as the coveted closing model. As expected, this drives Gigi and the other models crazy. As the show begins, Jessie has an intense hallucination where she sees the mirror images of herself inside, making out with each other inside another blue triangle. A little later, Jessie brings Dean to a private event with the designer and models. The designer can't stop talking about how second-rate Gigi is due to all of her plastic surgeries and how Jessie is a diamond in a sea of glass. Dean argues with him over claims that beauty is everything. When he insists Dean would have never bothered with Jessie if she wasn't beautiful, he gets fed up and leaves the party. Jessie finds him waiting for her at the hotel later. He asks her if she seriously wants to be like them. Jessie claims they actually all want to be her and dumps Dean. That night, Jessie dreams that Hank comes into her room and slowly pushes a knife down her throat while softly demanding she opens her mouth wider. She wakes up to an unseen man actually trying to enter her room. After getting through the locked door, Jessie hears him break into the room next door. Disturbed by this, she calls Ruby, who invites her to stay at an elegant mansion she's house-sitting. Ruby comforts her, then slowly tries to force herself on her. Jessie claims she is straight and a virgin. When Ruby tries again to be intimate, Jessie forcefully pushes her off. The following day, a frustrated Ruby goes to her second job at the morgue, where she does makeup for bodies awaiting burial. She imagines one of the female corpses as Jessie and pleasures herself while on top of it. Back at the mansion, Jessie dons an elegant gown laid out for her and spends the day applying an elaborate layer of makeup. When Ruby returns home, she finds Jessie standing on a diving board above an empty swimming pool. She tells Ruby that people have always wanted her looks and goes so far as to say some people would do anything to achieve her beauty. Jessie retreats back inside the house and finds Gigi and Sarah there. She asks the two girls if they're having a party before they viciously attack her. They chase her back outside to Ruby, who echoes her earlier statements before pushing her into the deep end of the empty pool. The fall kills Jessie, and her body is taken by the three girls. They then horrifically eat parts of her body and bathe in her blood, finally revealing they are a type of Elizabeth Bathory vampires. The three Bathory vampire girls wake up the next day and go about their lives. Gigi accompanies Sarah to a beach house photoshoot directed by Jack. Jack stops the shoot to compliment Gigi's beauty. He abruptly fires another model and has Gigi take her place, putting her in the shot next to Sarah. However, she gets sick and retreats to a bathroom. Sarah rushes to Gigi's aid and witnesses her regurgitate one of Jesse's eyeballs. Panicked, Gigi screams, "I need to get her out of me," and stabs herself to death with a pair of scissors. Barely fazed, Sarah eats the regurgitated eyeball and returns to the shoot as the film suddenly ends.